Hey, this is JR, the TechSpat OTG. I'm here today with my friend Jeff from Canada, and we're gonna do Old Guys Talking Shit number 18.
18?
Yeah, it's
Not
number
17, 18.
Yeah, no, it's 18 this time. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe I better go back and look before we start shooting.
No, you're right. It is easy.
Okay.
Just
All right.
jerking your chain.
We always do that. It never fails. Well, what's been going on with you? Have you been doing anything or any activity around that you need to talk about?
Not much. Just family stuff. Extended family stuff.
Yeah. Now, Rhea got off and went to Baguio up in the Highlands.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of video from that, but of course I haven't edited any of it yet. There's about 10 gigabytes of stuff. And it looks really nice up there. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It kind of looked like the foothills in Arkansas or somewhere like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's really kind of pretty. It's a nice looking place. It's totally different from around here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good video. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that.
When do you anticipate getting that one out?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. There's, like I said, there's just so much footage. I'm not sure. It'll be a rough one to edit, but it's going to be a lot of fun because there's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of things that you just don't expect to be in the Philippines, which I thought was pretty interesting. And nothing's been going on. I've been following politics a little bit. Kind of mad at Donald Trump. I've been writing some ugly comments on YouTube and stuff about Donald. I'm angry about the Iran deal.
Yeah.
You know, he said, oh, if they kill any more of those of the citizens, you know, that he was going to be in there to help them. And apparently they've killed thousands since he said that, and I haven't seen any help. The thing that I think maybe it's either a political thing where they're going to just sit and talk, and while they're talking, the U.S. will get ready to fight and Iran will get ready to fight, and then maybe later they'll fight, or possibly didn't intend to do it, you know. But one way or the other, they crossed the red line and we let them.
Yeah, I was noticing on one of the websites, I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't Fox because they never have any real world stuff on there. But it was either BBC, ABC Australia, or CNN.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that one thing that was noteworthy is that a lot of the soldiers in Iran were starting to disobey orders. They're starting to get tired.
Yeah, getting tired of the deal. Yeah. You know, well, I've tried to watch a little of Fox about Trump's deal, and there's really nothing on there now except this kidnapping of some TV host. Mom got kidnapped. Guthrie. And they have just gone into that. I can't believe it. It's like the only thing on their news show now.
Yeah, you'd think Guthrie was like the vice president or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how much coverage they've given that. And, you know, they just don't give that kind of coverage usually to somebody that's been kidnapped or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of odd things about it. The local police, they came in, they took a look, and then they left.
Yeah.
And really did nothing about it until FBI showed up.
It was strange. And then they have that doorbell video now, which they didn't have at first.
Right. Like, what took so long for that?
Yeah, I would have thought that would have been the first thing. You know, if they had a doorbell alarm system, a Ring or one of the other ones, you would think the first thing they do is go after the cloud storage to get that footage. So.
And now they've arrested someone, but they're not giving any information about who it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, it just took up a lot of screen time, and it's really, there's so much stuff in the world that's going on that's more important than that and deserves our attention, I think, more than that. And that's what they're covering. It's their lead story every day on Fox. One good thing about Fox is, well, actually, it's not Fox. It's Rumble? Dan Bongino's back. His FBI. It's one of my favorite to watch. His FBI tour of duty is over, and now he's back on his Rumble show, and it looks just like his old show. I really like it. And he's getting great viewership. So I always liked his show. It was kind of, I don't know,
no nonsense.
Kind of no nonsense, and he always said, I will bring the receipts, and he always did. And a lot of times he wouldn't get into a story until he had the facts, and I kind of like that about his show. And some of the other shows, they'll get in on it, and, really too early.
Yeah.
I think that's not a good thing. But that's about all on the news that I've been following. I do check in every day. I look at some of the Al Jazeera and some of the European, Russian news and stuff like that to see what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. I think that one's going to fall apart pretty soon, I think.
The most asinine thing that I've seen is how Trump is saying that he expects this is all going to be over by June. And you have the two presidents of the two countries, they haven't even talked face to face yet.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't talked about June.
No. America does. President Trump does. And the thing is, he talked about how one day it was going to be over at one point when he first became president.
Yeah.
So, does that,
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I think that they're misinterpreting anything that Russia says, because Putin has no intention of stopping that war. Right now, he's getting into mobilization, and they're gonna be drafting citizens and putting them out on the front lines. And man, that's not gonna fare well in Russia, and it's not gonna help them win the war, because the Ukrainians will just cut them to pieces like they've been doing with their frontline troops already.
Yeah, I get frustrated, and I imagine that the Ukrainian people are really, really upset, because you hear, this guy from across the ocean saying, "Oh, we're going to get this done. We made all this headway," and months later, they still haven't agreed on anything.
Right. I don't think there was ever any agreement on anything. I really don't. I don't think that Putin ever agreed to anything. Zelensky's not going to give up any territory, and Russia's not going to accept anything except the annexation of Ukraine. I mean, that's what he wants.
Sure.
So
neither side is going to agree.
No, they're just there's going to be the last two soldiers out there, both of them with a knife or a gun, and it's like the snake eating its tail, until it disappears. That's what it's going to be like. They're not going to agree until the last two of them stab each other and die. That's my opinion of it. I don't see a resolution.
I still don't agree with how the Ukraine is restricted by a whole bunch of rules and regulations that were set by Russia, and they have to adhere to that, or they're going to, be penalized. I don't know.
I didn't know they had anything. I thought the rules, like not shooting long-range missiles and all that, was from the U.S. and Europe or NATO, that they wouldn't sell the weapons to Ukraine unless they agreed not to use them in a certain way.
Yeah.
And to me, that's nuts. Just don't sell it to me if I can't use it.
Well, the thing is, what's Russia doing?
Yeah.
They're shooting their missiles all over the Ukraine, to knock out their whole.
Yeah, and also
energy
when
infrastructure.
their emissaries talking peace with the U.S. and everybody that is really not involved in it, because they're not talking to each other. They're bombing schools and hospitals and things like that. They're not. I mean, you don't have peace talks and talks about ceasefire while you're bombing somebody. I mean, that just kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You kind of would want to take a little break and then maybe do something there.
I think if these guys had the balls, they would hold the peace talks in the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless the Russians, of course, the Russians, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Russians would bomb their own negotiators.
They bomb their own. Their own.
They don't care about people at all.
Not much, I'll tell you.
No,
I mean,
not even much. They don't care.
They've got guys that are frozen like popsicles in trenches right now. So I don't guess they care.
No.
They're certainly not putting out a lot of effort to save those folks.
No. There's nothing humane about what Russia is doing.
No.
Not even for their own country.
No, it's the same. I was thinking about this Iran thing. Like I said, I was really kind of put off with Trump because of that. The thing that amazes me is that Iran, they shoot their own people. Russians do the same thing. They shoot their own soldiers. But Iran will shoot their own people, and they seem to think that that's gonna I don't know, stop the war or stop people from hating the regime or whatever. I mean, you go and gun down my family, I'm gonna be a little bit pissed off at you. That not gonna get over that real easy.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. And they have such an environmental problem there too that just adds to everything. The water situation and the land and everything that farmland they're losing, due to droughts and bad management. They got a lot of problems, even without that idiot regime that they have, the beard men.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My theory was that, if you've got a thorn in your foot, pull it out. And I was certainly hoping that Trump would have done just that, and he did.
Yeah.
And I mean, he may yet, but the signals that I'm getting from it, I just don't see. I don't see that exact finale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just remains to be seen. I guess we'll have to wait and talk about that in 19. So, because we really don't have any answers here in 18.
Yeah, the one thing that I saw in the news too, just read about it, I guess it was this morning or last night, I can't remember which. It was on the CNN website. They said that, the integrity index,
Mm-hmm.
United States has been slipping over the last couple of years. And of course you can slip, but you're still at that particular notch. Well, this year they dropped down one notch.
And that's like integrity and believability of what the government's saying. And that's,
right.
yeah.
And they said it's actually been a downward slide over the years, and I guess it's lasted long enough that they've actually dropped down.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be, if that would exactly be the fault of the government either, because, a lot of people get what the government says, not from the government, they get it from the news media.
Right, but they said that the major reason for the big drop now was what was happening in Minnesota.
Yeah.
All the money that's been taken away from what it was supposed to be used for and scammed, and now is being used, put in people's pockets.
Yeah.
And they said that has killed the integrity of America.
Yeah, and the same thing is probably going on in California and in 30 or 40 other states. So
right, and you see the same thing happening here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
With all that money that was supposed to go for flood control.
Flood control, yeah.
And nothing was done. Everybody's getting flooded out, and they're saying,
Where
Wait a
did
minute.
where
Wasn't
did
there
that money
supposed
go?
to be a big drainage thing there?
Yeah,
What happened? Where is it?
yeah. It reminds me that what is that song? You know, she's so fine, you wonder where the money went. It's kind of the same thing. You know, is that you hear all of the progress that they're making and how they're doing so much, and then nothing happens, and you wonder where the money went.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Kind of bizarre. Yeah. Anything? I don't know. Anything Philippine happening that we have new kittens. that was about
We have a new motorbike.
new motorbike in the family is a big deal.
Yeah. I don't understand the licensing here. It is kind of stupid.
Well,
Sorry.
it's bizarre.
But
Rhea didn't understand it much either, but she got it done.
But the thing is, you buy a new motorbike, you go back the next day, and they give you a temporary registration.
Right.
And I said, why aren't you just taking the papers that show that you are the legal owner and going to the government office and getting registered? Oh, it's because the previous owner or the dealer, they have to handle the paperwork.
Yeah.
Why? You've got a document there that says it's your bike.
Yeah, bill of sale and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it either. Rhea's put in a lot of hours. She put in a lot of hours to get her paperwork done on all of them.
See, that's another part of the scam
Motorbikes.
that goes on in this country. They make things so complicated that it's easy to rip off the organized, what's supposed to be organized.
Well, the thing that they do in the U.S. that's so bad is that there's all these non-governmental organizations, the NGOs they call them, and they're set up like charities. They're like fake charities, and you give the money to them. The government gives the money to them. People donate to them foolishly, which they shouldn't give them a damn thing. And the government gives them a bunch of money, and then they're supposed to have these programs and things. Well, the money from the government hits their door and gets distributed out to the pockets of all the people that are running that NGO.
Yeah.
And those people should never have the government money. If the government's going to have a program that gives out food to kids or helps with kids that have learning disorders or whatever, the government needs to be doing it and not letting some NGO do it because they have no oversight.
Yeah.
And a lot of them can get donations without even having to account for where the money comes from.
Right.
It can come from China, it can come from Bangladesh, who knows?
Yeah.
So it goes there. That's the other problem, is they steal it and embezzle the money and scam the money and everything, and then it goes to those countries.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a mess. And
Did you hear that China's involved with SpaceX?
no, doesn't surprise me, but
Well, there's no proof at this point, but 2 Democratic senators have opened up a study looking into the possibility that the CCP has influence over SpaceX.
wow, I didn't hear that. I need to read up on that. Send me a link if you get one.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I thought was the funniest, actually not the funniest, but nothing about wars are funny. One of the things that I thought was the most interesting was about Elon Musk and Starlink and what they did to Russia. I thought that was just amazing.
Cut 'em off.
Yeah, they just cut them off. But it was interesting how they did it, is that they put the people that legitimately had a Starlink on the white list, and then anybody left over was a Russian that was stealing Starlink. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The way they did it was interesting, and the fact that they did it was just pretty amazing. So that was kind of the highlight of my Ukraine, Russia, and all that news watching this week.
That's one of the few positives.
One of the few positives. I thought, that Elon Musk just turned off their subscription. I thought that was pretty funny. So anyway, that was it. I don't really have much more to add today. I'm covered up at the house with cats and.
I have one more question for you. How's your internet been this last week?
My internet has been awful, and I think Rhea would agree to that. Rhea, what do you think about our internet lately? Say again. I think she said shit. If I'm not,
so.
yeah. If I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's really been laggy, and it's strange laggy, in that usually when the internet's slow, things are just slow. But this thing, it's like it's slow and drug out.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
And we have the same thing over here in Subic, and it's almost as if it's like a system-wide thing.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not in the same area that you're in, or same coverage, and we have it, and you've got it. It's a strange thing, and like I said, it's just not. It's not the thing that. It's not the way the internet usually is when it's slow.
Yeah.
It's slow, and it's kind of like one of my own UI, like those things when something's the speed's turned down. And instead of being just slow or stopping, it drags out. It's weird.
Almost if there's a bubble in the system.
Yeah, something really strange. Yeah, that's been a strange one. Well, anyway, I guess let's call it quits. Have another beer, order some food, and enjoy our time here at Hops and Brews in Barrio Barreto, Olongapo City, Philippines. Right by Subic Bay, which a lot of activity going on there right now.
Yep, it's busy.
Okay. Well, we'll see you and see everybody again in number 19.
Okie dokie.
All right. This is JR, the TechSpat OTG, saying, hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.